Hi everyone, I'm Ken from CryptoTradingKS and the inventor of the CTKS method and BORSOG trading. If you're new, a very warm welcome and welcome back KS family. From my 30 plus years in financial markets, I explain the smart money mindset to assist you to become more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, gaining real wealth in the process. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin is currently down 0.62% to 19,989. Ethereum is down 0.12% to 1583. Please note, I don't have WhatsApp or Telegram. If anybody reaches out through the comments on YouTube, just ignore them. We were waiting on some key economic data, average hourly earnings, non-farm employment change, and employment rate data. That all came through last night. Let's see how it impacted the markets. We saw US jobless claims fall to the lowest level in 2 months. A lot of people would say, hey, this is a really good thing, but actually it's not so good because it's a tight job market. And that's actually going to put pressure on the Fed. And the fact that average hourly earnings increased again is throwing inflationary pressure throughout the economic system. It's actually a really strong labor market at the moment. So the number of people in the labor force, defined as those holding or seeking jobs, reached its highest level since US records began in 1948. That's what they talk about when they say a strong labor market. And because the labor market has remained strong with unemployment low and job growth high, the Federal Reserve needs to increase interest rates. The next FOMC meeting is around 18 days away, and we could see something really interesting. Even though those statistics came through, the actual probability of a 75 basis point increase has actually dropped from 75% yesterday to 56% today. And the increase of probability of a 50 basis point increase actually flew up to 44% from 25% yesterday. We're going to look at how Bitcoin actually dealt with this, and remember Rule 45, no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. The reason that we look at Bitcoin first is because your alt can't escape Bitcoin. It's just has a magnetic personality. And you might say, Ken, I don't believe you. Okay, let's check it out. Look at Ethereum. Bitcoin's gravity is this blue line. You can see Ethereum actually following Bitcoin's gravity and the up and down movements. Directional correlation is what we're talking about when we talk about gravity. For example, Binance Coin moving in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity. ADA doing the same. XRP doing the same. Solana doing the same. Doge doing the same, DOT doing the same, and Matic starting to break out. It's starting to show a bit of strength. Go Matic. A lot of people, when they look at their beloved alts, they just say, oh, I just want to analyze my beloved alt and I don't care about Bitcoin. Hopefully this shows you a different path, a more profitable path. And when we look at how Bitcoin is actually going, you can see it's failed to hold this support line again and again and again. There was a bit of a pip up when those different statistics came through, but that was quickly reversed on inside the market. And we've got to keep our eye on the Armageddon line. As a community, we use active patience. We're just actively waiting to get back into the market. And when we look at the current price, it's about 5% away from the Armageddon line. We know that we have not been capable of increasing price above this support line. That is not a good look. And if we zoom in on the 1 hour, note this white line. That's the NASDAQ 100 futures. You can see that the NASDAQ is in directional correlation with Bitcoin at the moment. And we'll get into that a little bit later on. But have a look at what happened when the US report data came out. The market briefly rallied, couldn't get above resistance, was rejected, couldn't maintain support, came down through multiple support levels, multiple, and then it's come back up and been rejected. We can see it's slowly crawling along this lower support line, but it looks really unhealthy. I invented the CTKS method as a way of capturing exponential price movements. through technical analysis, and the confluence of all of those CTKS lines is the Stanfield level, these SL levels. And what do they actually represent? They're derived from the CTKS method, and they're dynamic daily smart money buy and sell levels. What you actually see is what happened in the market. You can see we've got 4 SLs down here that we were tracking yesterday, and price came up, touch one, then touch the one above it. So it came down to support at 19,987 and then whipped up to resistance at 20,202. Then it came down again, nearly touched that 20,000 mark, and then shot through one SL at that 20,202 and another at 2335, and then was rejected wholeheartedly and passed through to touch nearly the lower line at 19,744. You can understand this is what smart money is doing. It's just playing with the market. This is why the first thing you should always do is to mark up your chart with the CTKS method. That will give you an understanding of the particular crypto personality that you're looking at. Then we look outside the charts towards the markets, collecting probabilities. We whip back into the crypto market, finding the market's focus. But before we buy or sell, we must master emotional control. If we don't master emotional control, our fear will press the buy and sell button, not us. You can see just how powerful these SLs are, and their dynamic daily smart money buy and sell levels. Let's have a look into the longs and the shorts. We can see the longs came in and bought that dip. The shorts have also been increasing their positions. It's really low volumes as far as liquidations. In the past 24 hours, 146.92 million in liquidations across 42,812 positions. Really low. As far as the total liquidations across the past 24 hours, you could say about 56% were long. What about the past 12 hours? Nearly 60% long. What about the past 4 hours? Yeah, the longs are getting hit really terrifically, 81% long. And what about the past hour? It's starting to turn around. We can see about 55% short. I'm just rounding up there. Now let's have a look at what we see in the liquidations. For the past couple of days, we can see that the market has just basically treaded horizontally, treaded flat because of these employment numbers and the wage growth figures. They want to actually understand what the Fed is going to do. Now we have an understanding of the fact that Bitcoin is weak. We would expect this to play out on all of our beloved alts. Poor alts. Let's have a look. Over the past 24 hours, global crypto market cap decreased 0.62% to 978.93 billion. The greatest gainers, Yearn Finance up 7.83%. Litecoin 7.28% up, EOS 6.26% up, 1inch nearly 6% up, Synthetics nearly 4.5%, and Algo nearly 2.5% up. The greatest losers over the past 24 hours in the top 100, Helium down 8.05%, Curve down about 5.3%, Flow down around 5%, as is Leo, Near down around 4.6%, and Tezos 3.4% down. We've seen Matic take off recently, so let's have a deeper dive on it. Let's look at the CTKS method, derived dynamic daily smart money buy and sell levels. What we actually see here, we've got 4 Stanfield levels around the current price, 2 at support, 1 at 824, 1 at 808. For example, if the current price came down and hit that 808 level and then just did a bounce up to around 885, we could see a 7% decrease, but a nearly 9.5% increase. You always want to seek if you can ride these waves. That is the way to go. But we always consider our A and F. What if price goes against us because we're going long as a community and we don't use derivatives? We would say, okay, against means it's going to go down. So these 2 strong levels here are very good. So we would expect some kind of bounce in there. Then we consider what could go neutral. That means it just consolidates around this zone. That's another way of going. And what if it goes for us, which means it just takes off? We can see two resistance levels playing out at 898 and 927. Current price is 869. And when we look down, we've got a very strong support level down at 680 and a raft of resistances up around the $1.10 mark, roughly. And please note, I don't ever endorse any specific crypto. You must always make your own decisions on what you do and how you do it. And well done to everyone who yesterday put their BORSOG code in on the comments. It's just brilliant. You'll learn so much from each other as well. Please pop your BORSOG code in for today. It's really critical you do your lines on the CTKS method on your beloved alts. If you don't do the lines, you won't know where the structure is. And what we see here, this white line, is the NASDAQ 100. What you can also see how the NASDAQ came up and Matic came up, and then the NASDAQ went down and Matic came down. Went up here, came down here, but it over. For example, this was quite a decay, but Matic said, no, I'm not going down, but it did actually go down. It's over and under exaggerating particular movements. And then when we saw this spike up, it came up. What about here? It came down. So you can see how powerful directional correlation is, and we must look at the main markets. And why? Because of Rule 225, Bitcoin and of course your beloved alts cannot escape the stock market's gravity. When we turn to the All-Country World Index, the ACWI, and we realize this is a very, very important index, look at that rejection. There was a wholesale rejection. And that's what we need to keep our eyes open for. This is showing immense weakness in global markets. And what about the main markets? We saw the VIX, the fear gauge of the market, and Masterclass students, you'll get my live chart in TM6. We saw the VIX actually decrease, then spike up. And what happened with the indices? They spiked up and then sold off. We're around a support level at the moment. So let's see how it goes with the NASDAQ 100. We can also see that bond prices found a level of support. Not surprising because there's a support level right there. And what happened to gold? Gold sold off, but then it rallied. What about the dollar? The dollar was going up and then decided to sell off and come back again. So the dollar has been going all over the place. And when we look at bond yields, the yields have hit a resistance level and backed off. Oil prices are also just consolidating around support, and we've seen no major movement in junk bonds. Junk bonds is a very, very powerful thing to look at. When we see an upward momentum, we expect the markets to rally, but when we see downward pressure, we expect the markets to fall off, and we've seen no real kick up in junk bonds yet. We're like really, really good detectives. We look far, far wider than just the crypto market because all markets are intercorrelated and interconnected. Please let me know, what is your strategy for dealing with downward negative price momentum? What we're seeing in the dollar right now, it's coming up to a very strong level of resistance at 109.779. But when it gets above that, it has lighter resistance levels above it at 110.561. So what do we actually see in the dollar? The dollar came down, spiked up, and it's just rejecting this particular resistance at 109.779. We have a lot of support underneath the DXY. So we would expect the dollar to actually be quite strong because it has to get through all of these support levels. And we saw that sell-off and the revamp of the dollar. It's just under this resistance line. That is quite a key one, 109.779. And if you were trading gold, this SL down here at around 1710 captured price very effectively, as did the upper resistance at 1729.40. You can actually do a lot of trading based off your SL levels or the Stanfield levels, and they're created through the CTKS method. As a community, we know that we need to master fear in order to master profitability. And one way to master fear is through positive excellence. And these little components are all about sustainable fulfillment, meaning happiness and success. We relegate money to the end position, not the front position, as most people do when they enter markets, of course, because it's about buying and selling money. That would be fair to do, but we don't do that because it doesn't work. Instead, we seek inner peace and outer peace, bringing our best selves to the game every single day and our best selves to each other every single day. Why our best selves? Why is that important? Because if we don't do that, we'll get stuck in panic and blame, zone 1 and zone 2. By learning what's inside the masterclass, you develop patience and rules. And by learning positive excellence, which is also inside the masterclass, Zone 4, mastering fear. And this is really, really important. If you don't master fear, you'll always cut your profits and maximize your losses. Why does this occur? What's that about? Zone 4, mastering fear, is all about worthiness and meaning. It's still easy come, easy go if you don't make sure that you've mastered your fear. In yesterday's video, we talked about strategy, and what was your strategy? Jay said, my strategy is to sit on the sidelines for now, marking up my charts with the CTKS method and revisiting the masterclass lessons for the second and third times. Well done, Jay. And Nick said, my strategy is to continue studying, stacking the probabilities and scaling into the market when I start to see confirmation signals of a potential trend change. Well done, Nick. And thank you, each and every one, for doing your comments. It's just awesome. We have a beautiful, beautiful community on YouTube. We're so fortunate. We have the best people and no toxicity. Brett said, my strategy is to practice with BORSOG and wait for confirmed directional change. 2 and up. I think it's important to be in the market even if we just have a loss in. That's a really good point, Brett. And what you can do is just dramatically decrease your coffee money entry sizes if that is possible, and also just tighten your percentages until you get into synchronization. There's nothing wrong with that. 1 or 2% is actually quite respectable. And John's strategy, currently sitting on the sidelines with 1/3 of my portfolio in cash, patiently waiting for clearer market direction. Marking up your charts. Brilliant, John. That is the key to success. And well done, Simple E. The concept, we have the long weekend, so things could get really interesting across this weekend. Marco's strategy is reviewing the masterclass and look at your video every single day, reading the valuable comments by the community. And the community is just beautiful. I can't say enough good things about everyone. It's just wonderful. I feel like I'm building a house. Every day there's something to learn through the application of the CTKS method. Well done, Marco. Marco says, enjoy your weekend and all the best to every single member of the CTKS family. Just beautiful. Tiana said, my current strategy is learning time. Signals are mixed and they're changing very fast. That they are, my friend. And thank you, Meditative. My strategy is to watch and wait. Markets are all over the place at the moment, revisiting my Stanfield lines and daily analysis to see if the timing is right. Well done. And to Jade, I'm sitting on the sidelines, watching and learning. I have been contemplating an attempt at 1 to 2% gain trades. I think that's a really good idea, Jade. Just start with a very small amount of money. And if you get into synchronization with the market, you can go from there. And a big thank you to Desert Dog for your kind generosity. Thank you, my friend. And well done to everybody who's putting in their BORSOG codes. It's just brilliant. Remember, the market will reward your knowledge and your learning. And the more you get into synchronization with the market, the more you will be rewarded. Art was saying, not seeing any major uptrend in the main markets, but there are some trading opportunities, but I'm still overly cautious. I agree. This is a time to be a little bit cautious because it's structurally very unsound time. And the Coffee Club video that I'm going to bring out and that I've been preparing over the last, week is all about structural uncertainty. It should be really, really interesting for people. And Shane's strategy, at the moment, half of my trading portfolio is in cash. The other half has been put into ridiculous 10-5-10 buy levels on projects I like. Well done, my friend. And well done, Tiana, with that very extensive amount of analysis. Kacharia mentioned that Tom says the main cause of people losing money in the markets is that they try to avoid pain, and it's a very fair point. There is a core value of being courageous that actually leads us to success. Thank you for sharing, my friend. And I have to laugh. Well done, John. Terra Classic USD is an algorithmically unstable coin. I totally agree. And J-Link agrees too. That quality of being fearless and having courage, that is the way of the trader and the investor. And it's really important to understand the dimensions of courage. Perhaps we could talk about that in the comments. There's so many brilliant comments, and I just want to say I appreciate you all so very, very much. Before we buy or sell, we have the CTKS Creed, which primes our minds for profitability. It creates courage, but it also creates the right dimensions in life. I know the universe. Now, the universe is just a placeholder for what you believe in. If you believe in God, you can say, I know that God wants me to succeed. Or if you believe in Buddha or Allah or anything, whatever you believe in, or if you don't believe in that, you can just say the universe. As a global family, we're reaching out to literally every country, so I want to keep things accessible to people. I know the universe wants me to succeed. Every day I show kindness, integrity, and gratitude. I know opportunities in life reset daily. I am worthy. I go slow to go fast. I start small and scale with BORSOG. Life pullbacks give me the strength for the next life rally. I am dedicated and committed. I win or learn and never blame. Each and every episode we go through these varieties of different crypto sectors, and you'll note the stablecoin sector. I just wanted to point out something funny. You see PAXG, which is a stablecoin for gold. Gold is a stablecoin. Please don't tell Peter Schiff. If you have friends or family who could benefit from positive excellence and what we do each and every day here, please introduce them by sharing a video. We'd love to see them here. We have one of the best communities on YouTube, and we're very non-toxic. Thank you very much to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers. And please note, I don't have WhatsApp or Telegram. A big thank you to the CTKS ambassadors as well for assisting Masterclass students. And of course, a very big thank you to you for watching and for being part of our global family. I've left helpful links in the description of this video, such as the tax software I use and links to the CryptoTradingKS Masterclass. Please seek out an ambassador to get 80% off. And if you're in financial hardship, or otherwise, you can apply for the partial scholarship. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, my friends. Have a great weekend. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.